Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Hello, Kanan. Hello, Milo. Hello, Austin. Everybody can hear me? That's great. Okay, good. So, again, today's webinar is just to make sure that everybody is up and running and can get started with Pico 8. So I know some of you have taken this class before, and if you have, and you can get to this screen here where it says, when you first start at Pico 8, then you're all good. You've done everything that you needed to for today's webinar. Tomorrow is when we're going to get started learning some stuff. So if you have not gotten to this point here, that's what we're going to help you do today. But again, so those of you who have already taken this this class, or if you were able to get Pico 8 downloaded and installed, and when you launch it, you see this screen over here on the side. I'm going to circle it so that you know what part I'm talking about. So if you load it and you can see this screen here, then if you're seeing that, you're good and you're ready to go. So I don't want you to have to stick around today if you don't want to, if you already are at that point. Okay, so now, so if you got to this screen, Lorna, you haven't missed anything. All we are doing is making sure everybody can get up and running with Pico 8. So if you start and the entire screen is taken up with this, then here, I'll put it in here in the notepad. 1 second. You do Alt, Enter. I'll write it like this: Alt, Enter, or Alt, Return. Depends on what it says on your keyboard. Some keyboards say Enter, some keyboards say Return, but it's the key that you hit when you're ready to go to the next line. If you hit Alt, Enter, or Alt, Return, and that's on Mac or PC, we'll go in and out of full screen. Oops, let me wrap this. We'll go in and out of full screen mode. Okay, so if you tried to load Pico 8 and it went full screen, just hit Alt Enter and it will come back out of full screen. Now, so I'm gonna leave that note up there for a sec. Now, if you don't have Pico 8 installed, then I think in the email instructions you got when hold on 1 second. So this is what you should see when you start up Pico 8. So we're gonna hold on, Lorna. I'll help you in 1 sec. I'm just taking things one at a time here. So we're going to be using the program called Pico 8 that when you got the email instructions for this webinar, one of the instructions were to email me and you get a code to go download Pico 8. And I'll pull up this website here so that you can see what it looks like. Here we go. There. Okay, so the website looks like this. And that's the main website. But when you go to in the email, you'll see it goes to here. And this is where you put a code that you'd get from me. Ranbir, I'll help you in just a minute, okay? So if you emailed me and got a code and you click the link in the email, you'll end up at this page. And right down here, this is where you put in the code that you get in the email. And after you do that, it allows you to get a download link to download Pico 8. And you'll end up at a screen that looks like this, where you can pick whether you want to download Pico 8 for Windows or for Mac. And then you can just pick the one that works for you. If you're on Windows, then you would click this one that says Windows Installer. You'd click where it says Installer and download that. If you're on a Mac, you would click this, the zip file. And then you would open that up, and there's in that zip file is a folder that you can just drag onto your desktop, and inside there is the program Pico 8, which you can run. So I'm going to take things one at a time here. So I'm going to go through some of these questions that we're getting. Also, I need to be checking my emails because sometimes some of you are sending me emails while we're doing this. So I've got a few that I need to respond to here real quick. So just give me 1 second while I send people some codes, okay? Because I want everybody to be able to follow along here. So give me just 1 second here. And again, all we're doing today is just making sure everybody's up and running on Pico 8. So if you're not up and running, don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. That's all we're doing today is just getting up and running on Pico 8. And then we will make sure that everybody's at the same spot for tomorrow when we actually start. Okay, so Carrie, I just sent you an email. And hold on 1 second. Let me just send another one here. One at a time here. All right, Mark, I just sent you an email. And hold on 1 second, everybody. And I just sent an email for Dean. 1 second. And Bethany, I just sent you one. And Amy, I just sent you one. And Joe, I just sent you one. Okay, so now I'm going to catch up here on some of the questions. Sorry for 1 second. I just need to get back to this. Okay, so Shanna, Shanna asked, what if it says something like Windows stopped you from running an unidentified program? And I'm going to show you what to do with that. So let me pull this up here. So if you got that message, hold on, let me pull up it on my screen here. So if you got something that looks like, I'm going to put it on my screen, 1 sec. If you got something that looks like this, then what I want you to do is all right. So right here where it says more info, you're going to click on more info. And then after you do that, it will look something like, hold on, it will look something like this. And then you click on run anyway, and that will get it started and that will get it running. So that's what you do. So you click on more info and then you click run anyway. So Shanna, does that answer your question? Sorry, we're going to go through these one at a time. Here, I'll move this over. Let's see if I can move this here. Shanna, so you just have to make sure you click on more info and then click on run anyway, and then you'll be all good. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question here. So 1 second. All right. Isaiah, I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. If it's not, you can let me know. But Isaiah, if you got it up and running, then you are good. You are good to go. Brando, if you have Pico 8 up and running on, if you have Pico 8 up and running on a different computer, then you're all set. But if you want it up and running on this one and you don't have it, then let me know. Hello, Brenna and Lorna. So I'm gonna, Brando, can you send me an email and I will email you back my email address. Let me put it on the screen here. 1 second. There it is. My email address is dylanb@delphian.org. So send me an email to this address if you still need a code, and then I will send it to you. Lorna, you just need to be here until you can get to this screen here when you load Pico 8. And as soon as you get to that screen, you're all good. Holly, I just put my email address on the screen. And hold on, let me just check my emails. I have a few more emails here. Oh, Holly, I just got your email. And Evren, I will send you an email right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, and Holly, I'm going to send you an email. Okay, and okay, so everybody should have the codes that have emailed me. Aiden, if you just emailed me, I'm still waiting for it. As soon as I get it, I will send it to you. Okay, Lorna, so you're in. That's great. So remember, you can hit Alt Enter if you need to get it out of full screen. So I'm glad to hear that that worked for you. Good job. So we just need to make sure you can get to that screen and then you're ready for tomorrow. Oh, Brando, so it sounds like you're all up and running. Okay, good. And then Aiden, you're all up and running? Good. Okay, great. Luke, can you send me an email to that address that's on the screen and I will get you a download code. Just send me an email. So again, I'm going to put my email address over on the side. I'm just going to write it on the bottom of the screen. That way I don't even have to, let's see, where should I write it? I'll write it, wait 1 second. Here we go. I'm going to put it, where should I put it? I will put it I'll put it down here. D-Y-L-A-N. Oops, I'm gonna get better. And oh my gosh, oops, I cleared out the whole thing. D-Y-L-A-N. It's hard to write on this on the screen, but it's working. Uh-oh. Accidentally got rid of my R. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's do it again. Ah, my gosh. This R is so hard to make. Oh my gosh, that looks like a terrible R. I cannot write my R today. All right, let's just do this. There we go. Okay, so my email address does, oh, whoops, I actually even put the wrong email address. Oh my gosh, give me a break. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually make this even easier. I'm going to, sorry, 1 second. Here we go. I'm gonna put this in here. There we go, and I'm just gonna stick this right down here. Okay, now you will always be able to see my email address no matter what we're doing, and we can keep going. Okay, let me just check the questions here, make sure that we're getting all the questions answered that we need. Okay, so, all right, thank you, Luke. Holly, if you haven't gotten the email, just check again and see, and Sean, so you sent me an email saying if you can get to that screen. Yes, if you can get to that screen that I have on up here, I'll put it up here. If you can get to this screen, again, you're all set and you're ready to go and you're ready for tomorrow. But again, if you need to go out of full screen, don't forget Alt-Enter will let you do that. So Sean, if you're at that point, you're all good. Luke, I sent you, if you didn't get the email, Holly, then check spam just to make sure. It shouldn't have gone to spam, but I did send it. I sent it 4 minutes ago, and I replied to your email just to make sure. So you may need to, it might take a minute to get there. I've seen sometimes it takes a few minutes. I'm not sure why. It should just go instantly, but sometimes it doesn't. Oh, you did get it? Okay, good. All right. Milo, I will send you an email on how to do that. Just because I don't want to get into it right now, because it'll get too distracting. But I will send you an email on how to do that. It's pretty easy. Yeah, so today, Isaiah, today we're just doing the setup. All we're trying to do is make sure everybody can get up and running to this screen here that you see right over here. And if you can see that screen, then all good, you're ready to go for tomorrow. I usually want to make sure people can get out of full screen on there so they can see me and they can see this screen. Some people, what they'll do is they'll set up like an iPad separate and they'll have the webinar going on the iPad next to the computer that they're working on, because then they can have them side by side, and that's useful sometimes too. So Luke, did you get an email yet? Ranbir, you should go ahead and upgrade. You can upgrade by going back to, you can go back to the Pico 8 site. Luke, wait, did you send me an email yet? Sorry, I didn't see that. I can't remember. Did I ask if you sent it or you got one? I don't think I sent one to you because I don't think I've seen one from you yet. Oh, you did send me an email. Okay, good. So I'll look for it. again, sometimes it's been taking a few minutes extra to get here. So as soon as I get it, I will. Oh wait, I think I see it. Wait, yes, I just saw it. I'm not sure why it took a minute to show up, but we'll get it sent to you right now. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. Okay, Luke, I just sent you an email back, and you should have it in a minute or two. If it doesn't show up, check your spam. Sometimes it shows up there. I'm not sure why, but you should have it in just a minute. But to answer your question, Ranbir, so let me go back to my browser for a second, so you can see what this looks like. So if you're at the Pico 8 website, when you downloaded, when you redeemed Pico 8, you got a link that allows you to go download it. Or if you set up an account with Pico 8, then up in the top corner, there's this menu here. And if you click on downloads, it goes to this page where you can download the latest version. And that makes it pretty easy to upgrade your Pico 8. It should be okay if you have 1.12c. If you have that, that's not the end of the world. It's better if you have the new version because it does have some upgrades and improvements. And like sometimes there's like a couple of keyboard shortcuts that are new, and also there's a lot of bugs that were fixed too. So it's good to have the latest one. Great, good, Luke. No, you do not have to pay $14.99 to do Pico 8. The email that, or the download code that I sent is a license to, it's a code to get a free copy of Pico 8, so you don't have to pay for it. So if you follow the link in the email, that allows you to use the code to get a free version. You should not have to pay for it. We don't want anyone to pay for Pico 8 for this class. That's why we're giving away the free keys. Oh, good, Ranbir. I'm glad to see you got it installed. Good job. Does that answer your question? Also want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly too. Is it Katya? Luke, in the email, it's the key is right there in the email. It starts with EDU. You'll see there, it's a big long letter number thing right above the link that you click in the email. Katya, did I say that right? Katya? Awesome, okay, good. Anyway, yeah, so I hope you got that. You shouldn't need to pay for Pico 8. If you got the email from me then with the code, then you can use that to download and install Pico 8. If you didn't get an email yet, please send me one to the email address at the bottom of the screen, because we want to make sure everybody gets a free copy to use for the webinar. All right, is anybody still waiting on a question? I just want to make sure we don't have anybody still waiting for the answer to a question. And again, if you're able to get to this screen here, that's all we're trying to get to today. We're just trying to make sure everybody can get up and running to this screen. And if you can get to this screen, you are all set for tomorrow. Oh, good job, Milo. That's awesome to hear. I'm glad to see that. Yeah, we're gonna make a different game this week, and it should be a lot of fun. It'll be pretty easy to make, but it's fun. I had a good time making it, and I hope you all will too. Hi, Keegan. So what all we're trying to do today is we're just trying to get everybody up and running to this screen here, where you can like you should just be able to load Pico 8 and get this screen right here, this black screen that I'm terribly drawing around, okay, good job, Dean. So if you got to that point, then you're all set for tomorrow. And there's not really much else you need to do for today. So good job. Keegan, did you send me an email to get a Pico 8 download code? Okay, so send me an email. It was in the webinar sign up instructions. Like after you sign up for the webinar, you get sent an email with instructions. And my email is in there, but it's also down here at the bottom of the screen, down here. Here, I'll point at it here. It's right here. Oops, it's right here. That email address right there. And send an email to that address, and I will send you an email back and with a Pico 8 download code. So once you're at the Pico 8 screen, you're all set. So that's today's lesson was just to make sure everybody got up to this point so that tomorrow we can actually start learning everything we're going to do. And we just found that we just need to give one day to make sure everybody gets up and running. Otherwise, we spend most of the lesson just everybody getting up and running. So if you can get to this screen, you're all set for tomorrow. But don't forget that if you're in full screen, and then you have to hit Alt-Enter or Alt-Return, depending on your keyboard, Alt-Enter to come out of full screen so that it doesn't take up your entire screen, because you want to be able to see the webinar and you want to be able to see the Pico 8 screen. And again, some people, they'll set up like an iPad with the Pico 8, with the webinar on one, and then they'll have their computer with Pico 8 on the other. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. All right, I'm just going to check my email real quick to make sure, see if I have any people waiting. So Keegan, don't forget to send me an email at that email address, and then I'll send you a Pico 8 download code. So Holly, I hope that answered your question of what to do when you get to this screen. If you get to this screen, then you're all set for tomorrow. And that's what you needed to do for today. Today was super easy because all we're trying to do is get up and running with Pico 8. Oh, Keegan, I just got your email, so I'm going to send you an email back right now with your download code, okay? So give me 1 second. Okay, Keegan, I just sent you an email, and in the email is a link, and you just use the code that you get in the email to put into the page that you get to with that link, and then that will help. That will let you get Pico 8 downloaded. There's like a download screen and stuff like that. Yes, Dean, we will make a game, and we're gonna be starting that tomorrow because the first day is really just to get everybody up and running and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes it just takes some time for everybody to make sure they're all set up and everything like that, and we want to make sure nobody gets left behind. So we want to give just this first day to make sure everybody has it installed and they can get up and running and all that kind of stuff. Milo, I do remember the first game we made. So my question is, in that game, is that the only game where those keys act weird, or is it do that in all games, like the left makes you move right and all that kind of stuff? Sam, so you have a question about whether make sure, Sam, are you still in here? Oh, I don't see Sam in here. So hold on, I'll answer your question in just a second. Just a second, Milo. All right, so sorry, I'm just replying back to another question by email. And that question was, so just so if anybody else has the question too, so they noticed that in theirs said a different number here. It said 0.2.0 E. Theirs said E, and mine says F. So they were wondering, does that matter? Is that okay if theirs says E and mine says F? That's totally fine. The main thing is you want this part to be the same. The 0.2, that would be good to make sure it's the same, but it's not totally a problem if this letter is different. You can get the newest version from Pico 8 if you want. And it's probably a good idea because they're always fixing bugs and that kind of thing. But as long as, it says 0.2, you're probably going to do fine. We're not going to do anything that will need anything like that. Oh, good, Milo. So I was going to say, yeah, the thing that I was going to tell you to do is check to see if the button glyphs, the little symbols, are using the correct ones. Kanan, yeah, so if yours says C, that's totally fine too. It just, this version came out pretty recently. I think he actually just posted F today, like earlier today. So if you don't have it, that's fine. Luke, what did you mean we're not on? Oh, oh, I see. Milo, well, I'll help you out with that after this, okay? So, Luke, how do we get the screen you're on? So you have to get Pico 8 installed, and once you do, then you just run it, and you'll get this screen that you see over here. But the Kanan, I'm not going to give you a hint just yet. But you do have to make sure you get it installed first. Once you get it installed, you can just run it. So, Katya, also I saw that you have a question about getting it installed as well. So let me just go over that real quick. I'm gonna do that over here with the web browser. Okay, so when you get to the Pico 8 download page, oops, let me clear this stuff out of, there we go. Okay, so when you get to the Pico 8 download page, which is here, like if you did did that redeem thing and it gives you a code or it gives you a link to go download Pico 8, this is the section right here where you download Pico 8, right over here. And what you do is you figure out whether you're on a Windows computer or a Mac computer. It should be pretty easy to know which one you're on, if you're on a Windows computer or a Mac computer. The easiest way to know is look up in the corner of your screen. And if up in the top corner of your screen, there's like a little Apple icon, then you're on a Mac computer. If you look down in this corner of the screen and there's a little square Windows icon, then you're on a Windows machine. So if you're on Windows, click this word where it says installer, and then it will download something that will install Pico 8 for you. If you're on a Mac, you click on this zip file and it downloads the zip file. And then when you open up the zip file, it has a folder inside, which you can just drag onto your desktop. And once you drag it on your desktop, inside that folder is the program Pico 8. Now, when you go to run it, sometimes it will give you a message saying, oh, no, this, I don't know who made this program. And that's okay. It's just like a security warning. And you can go into your settings and tell it to let you run Pico 8 anyway. You just have to go to, I think the settings is security and privacy on a Mac. If you go to security and privacy, you can tell it, let me run Pico 8 anyway, and then it will. But this page here is where you go get Pico 8. So if you're on Windows, you click this where it says installer. And if you're on a Mac, you just download this zip file, open it up, and drag the folder that's there onto your desktop. And that will allow you to run it. You can just double click Pico 8 and it may tell you, oh no, I don't know who made this. And you have to go into settings and say, yep, it's okay. I trust that this is okay. So Milo, to answer your question, since I don't have time to answer it today in this class, if you send me what you are making, I will be happy to help you out and see what is happening. So does anybody else have any questions yet on getting up and running? Katya, were you able to get up and running? I just want to make sure I answered your question. Katya, on downloading it, you can't run it on an iPad. You have to run it on a computer. Some people will load the webinar on their iPad, but you have to run Pico 8 on a computer itself. And it can't be a Chromebook, unfortunately, either. It has to be a Windows computer or a Mac computer or something like that. Milo, to send your game to me, when you have it loaded in Pico 8, you can just type folder, and in Pico 8, like you just, here, let me pull this up. So this is an answer for Milo, so this is not for anybody else. So if you just, when you have it loaded, like let's say you have your thing loaded and you type folder, it will pop up a folder with your games in it, and just attach your game file to an email to me, and then you'll be able to then I'll be able to load it on my computer, and I'll try to send you instructions on how to do that too, so that so it's easy, but I'll have to do that after this is over. Anybody else have any questions? Katya, I saw your email about that. Did you get my answer about how you need to make sure you install it on a computer? Okay, good. If we run into the end of the time slot and you still don't have it worked out, don't worry, just send me an email and I'll be happy to help you get it figured out. Sam, I saw you got your audio back. That's great. I did send you an email back with the answer to your question. The answer to your question is nope, it doesn't matter. It's okay if you have a slightly different letter number or letter on the name of your version. That's totally fine. He comes out with new versions to fix problems, and as long as it says 0.2, you're good. If it says E instead of F, that's okay. So Milo, just when you have your thing loaded, type folder and then hit enter, and that will pop up in a separate window. It'll pop up the folder that has your game files in it, and then you can use that folder to attach to an email. Like you should be able to attach it. I'll send you instructions too. I'll send you an email with those instructions as well, Milo, so that you can just follow them and should make it easy. Okay, well, I hope everybody was able to get up and running. If you were not able to get up and running and you don't see this screen that's over here, then just send me an email to that address down there, and I will help you get up and running. But we just want to make sure that before class starts tomorrow, that everybody is up and running, and then we can just get started right away. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I hope everybody is able to get started right away tomorrow. I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun. We are, for those of you who were doing this seminar before, we're doing some of the same concepts that we covered before, but we are also learning a few new things as well. So even if it feels like, oh, I already covered this, you know, I don't need to listen, we are going to be covering some new things, so it'll be good to listen and pay attention. I think we're out of time, but I will see everyone again tomorrow at this same time, and we'll get started. And again, if you have questions, feel free to email me and I will be happy to answer. How to get out of the screen, you can hit Alt, Enter. It will make it not full screen anymore. And, or Alt, Return. Sometimes on the keyboard it says Return. Keegan, what does it say? Says key not found. Interesting. Okay, that's odd. Does it say? Okay, well, I'm gonna email you and then we'll try to work it out after the webinar, okay? Because I want to make sure you get up and running, but I think we have to end off now because they got to get ready for the next class. So I will send you an email and we'll get it sorted out. All righty? Okay, good. All right, so look for an email from me very shortly. All right, bye everybody. Thank you for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.